Your shower is going to grow mold again. Scrub it with bleach today. Spray it with tea tree oil tomorrow. Run the fan a full hour after every shower, like you were told to. And within 3 weeks, the black spots come back. Same corners, same grout line. That's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because nothing you're doing actually changes the surface mold needs to grow on. There's a $5 piece of metal you can hang in your shower that releases a microscopic shield every time water touches it. That shield kills mold spores before they take root, and it keeps doing that every single shower, every day for the next 20 years. Stay with me because the mechanism here is older than your house, and you can install it in about 3 minutes. 25 years fixing things, and I've replaced more mildewed grout than I care to count. Every time the homeowner had done exactly what the bottle told them to do. Scrubbed it, bleached it, and run the fan. And every time it came back. Nobody was doing it wrong. The advice was just aimed at the wrong target. Here's what's actually happening on that wall. Mold needs 3 things to grow: moisture, organic matter, and a surface to anchor to. Your shower hands it all 3 on a plate. The moisture is obvious. The organic matter is the thin film of soap residue, skin cells, and shampoo oil that coats every tile after every single shower. And the surface is grout, which is porous, alkaline, and rough enough under a microscope to give a fungal thread something to grip. Bleach kills what's already growing, but the moment it evaporates, the surface is still porous, still organic, and still damp. Spores drifting in the air settle on it within hours, and the whole cycle starts again. That's why every bathroom spray you've ever bought is a temporary fix. It treats what you can see, it does nothing to the surface underneath. What actually works is changing the surface itself, making it hostile to spores before they ever get a foothold. And the cheapest, most established way to do that is zinc. Zinc is a metal that releases ions into water the moment it gets wet. Those ions carry a positive charge, and they're genuinely toxic to fungi, algae, and bacteria while being harmless to people and pets at the tiny concentrations involved. It's been used as a biocide since the 1800s. It's the active ingredient in dandruff shampoo. And it's why roofs across the southern states, where mold and algae would otherwise chew through shingles inside 5 years, carry a thin metal strip running along the ridge. That strip is zinc. Every time it rains, water hits it, picks up zinc ions, and carries them down across every shingle on the way to the gutter. The ions land in every crack and every microscopic pit, and mold simply cannot get started where they're present. The roof stays clean for decades. Roofers have known this for over 100 years. Almost no homeowner has ever been told. Never. So apply the same physics to your shower. A strip of zinc roofing flashing, about 1 inch wide and 12 inches long, runs roughly $5 at any hardware store. Hang it inside your shower, near the showerhead where the water hits it before it ever reaches you. Every shower, water passes over that strip, picks up trace ions, and carries them across every tile, every grout line, and every corner of the stall. Every shower. Now, I want to be straight with you about one thing before we go further, because I've seen this claim made without anybody addressing it. The roof version of this has decades of field data behind it. A roof strip sits exposed to rain for years, and the water contact time adds up. A shower strip gets maybe 8 to 10 minutes of water contact a day total across a household. So I won't tell you the dosing on tile is proven to the same standard as the dosing on shingles. Nobody's published that study that I've found. What I can tell you is the underlying chemistry is sound. Zinc ions genuinely are hostile to mold at low concentration, and at $5 for a piece of metal that lasts 20 years, this is about as low risk a thing as you'll ever test in your own bathroom. If it does half of what the roof version does, it's still worth the $5. The concentration you're dealing with is far below anything you taste, smell, or feel, but it sits well above what mold needs to survive. Spores can't germinate, the threads can't anchor, the black film never forms, and the strip releases ions slowly enough that a single piece keeps working for 20 years before it needs replacing. $5, 1 install, 2 decades of work if the coverage holds up the way the roof data suggests it should. Now here's the second half of it, and almost nobody puts these two together. Mold can't grow above a pH of 9. Most household surfaces sit between 6 and 7, slightly acidic to neutral, which happens to be exactly where mold is happiest. Your grout, after years of soap scum, often runs even more acidic at the surface, which is precisely why grout lines are always the first place mold shows up. There's a mineral called borax, sodium tetraborate, that runs a pH of 9.3 once it's dissolved in water. A 5-pound box costs about $4 and will last you the better part of a decade. Borax. Mix 2 tablespoons into a spray bottle with warm water once a week. Mist your shower walls after the last shower of the day and walk away. Don't rinse it. The borax dries onto the surface, pushes the local pH above the point where mold can survive, and sits there as a second invisible barrier layered on top of the zinc. Zinc kills the spores in the water as it passes. Borax raises the pH of the surface itself. Together they make the shower chemically unfriendly to mold at every stage of its life, from the moment a spore lands to the moment it would otherwise start growing. Together. There's nothing else on a hardware store shelf that does both jobs for under $10 total. Let's walk through the install properly because the details matter here. The zinc strip needs to be galvanized roofing flashing or pure zinc, not aluminum, not steel, and not anything painted. Ask for zinc flashing 1 inch by 12 inches at any roofing supply counter or hardware store. Bend a gentle hook into the top. Hang it directly off the showerhead pipe or from a small suction hook on the wall above it. Position it so the spray from the showerhead crosses it before it hits you. That's the whole install. No drilling, no adhesive, no plumber. 3 minutes and you never touch it again. For the borax spray, use a 1-quart bottle, warm water, and 2 heaping tablespoons of borax powder, shaken until it's fully dissolved. Once a week, after the last shower of the day, mist the walls and corners, especially anywhere mold has shown up before. Pay particular attention to the bottom 3 inches of the wall and the corner where it meets the floor, because that's where water sits longest. Let it dry overnight. In about 3 weeks, the dark spots already in your grout should start fading on their own. Give it 2 months and the shower should look properly new, and stay that way for as long as that strip keeps hanging there. 2 months. One thing worth knowing that most people never connect: zinc ions also kill the smell. That musty, damp bathroom smell isn't the water itself. It's microbial compounds, gases given off by mold and bacteria as they break down the organic matter on your walls. Stop the growth and those compounds stop getting produced. The smell doesn't get masked, it stops existing. It's the same reason zinc lozenges show up in cold remedies. The ions disrupt how the microbes causing the infection metabolize. Different room in the house, same mechanism. Here's the thing this one was actually about: surface. Bathrooms have been cleaned with bleach for 100 years, and the mold has come back every single time, in every house, for every person who ever tried. Not because bleach is weak, bleach does exactly what it says on the bottle. It's because nobody was ever treating the surface. They were treating the symptom over and over and calling it maintenance. That's worth sitting with for longer than the shower. A lot of what gets sold to you as a fix in a lot of rooms in your house is really just a very good way of managing a problem forever instead of a cheap way of ending it once. Walter's verdict: 4 wrenches out of 5. It's cheap, it's a 3-minute install, and the chemistry behind both halves of it is genuinely sound. It loses a wrench only because the exact dosing in a shower hasn't been tested to the standard the roofing version has, and I'd rather tell you that honestly than promise you a lab result I don't have. At $5, it's worth running in your own bathroom and watching what happens over the next 2 months. Tell me what to pull apart next.